Do, 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 do. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba.
They're both equally difficult to read.
Wow, wow.
Work with me. Work with me here.
I am.
I'm trying my hardest. It's
Your hardest isn't good enough.
much better. Hello. Talking. Thinking about things.
Good.
Talking about thinking about things.
Talking about thinking about pop music. That'll do.
Yeah.
Good.
Lovely. Let's get this show on the road.
We shall.
Yep. Colin had a problem and a microphone to spare. Thomas took it up and so the podcast went to air. For weeks and months they trolled through every single DVD. They've unwrapped all the ones they can and now they're cellulose free.
Hello, dear listener, and welcome to Cellulose Free. My name is Colin, and with me as always is my fellow film watcher, compadre and son, Thomas.
Hi, hello.
What have you been up to?
I forgot something.
What? No, you can't do that. No.
I can.
No.
Well, first of all, some things came in the mail that I might get to later,
I'm a bit curious.
but I won't get to now.
Right.
But other than that, today I went out and did some home tourism, which is to say a little ways away from home.
So you caught 3 buses?
I think I ended up catching 4 buses and a ferry.
And a boat?
Yes. Might have been 5 buses. Yes.
So the ferry goes to Belrive. So what do you do from Belrive?
A walk
All
to
the
the
way
bus
home?
mall.
Or to the bus mall?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so there was a...
no, I wasn't going to walk all the way home. No, I went out to Putter's Adventure Golf in Moona.
So you played mini golf
I did.
with all your internet friends who we invited
No.
last week.
No, on my own.
Oh,
They have 2 courses.
you could have
out there.
live streamed it. Actually, I don't think you've got the bandwidth to do
No.
that. No.
No, they have 2 courses out there.
Right?
I did them in the wrong order, so I did the second one first.
Right.
So the second one, which I did first, was the mill, and I was 19 over par.
Good.
Yeah.
I taught you well.
Some of those holes spit out quite badly. A lot of rim going round and not going in.
Uh-huh.
And then I did the first course second,
Mhm.
18 over par.
Good.
So
Are they both outdoor, or is one indoor and one outdoor?
one is largely indoor.
Right.
Yeah. The mill is largely indoor.
Mhm.
The other one, the mountain, is largely outdoor.
Did you get hot?
A little hot. I probably could have done with doing the one that was largely indoor second, but
So you doubly
well.
did them in the wrong order.
yeah.
Right.
If I'd had a handicap of 1 stroke per hole, it might have been a respectable score, but no, that's I even maxed out one of the holes.
Oh, dear.
I missed the 8th shot.
Did you slam down your putter and...
No.
Oh,
No.
right.
I missed the 8th shot on the 15th hole of the mill, so I had to move on.
How many people did you have to wave through?
I didn't have to wave through anyone. A old lady and a younger female relative of hers did have to let me go through at one point.
Okay.
Those were the only people other than staff that I actually had any sort of interaction with in my entire stay at Putters.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Which is why I did it on an early afternoon on a Wednesday.
Fair enough. I'm glad I got an invite.
Would you have wanted to go?
Oh, I wouldn't have minded. I could have done that.
Oh.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
And I also went to KFC. And
I would have
McDonald's,
completely dominated. Because I'm so good at...
So yeah, I also went to KFC and McDonald's and took the ferry and 5 buses.
Good.
Which is okay because the cap, the daily cap on a green card tops out at two trips.
Yep.
So I didn't even have to futz with zoning because the cap doesn't care about zoning.
No.
I want to go out to Mona. I don't need to tell the driver that I'm going to all the way out to Mona because by the time I get there, my 90 minutes will have run out and the next one will be a new trip and I'll hit the cap anyway.
Yeah.
But I didn't go to Mona, I went to Putters and I had a reasonable time.
Good.
What about you? What have you done this week?
What have I done this week? I have built a couple of kitchen benches and put a top on the kitchen benches and routed the edges, and we've done another rearrangement of the house to better implement space and give the cat more places to jump onto.
The boxed tree and long bench have been joined on the left side of the Deranged Cat studio by an upside-down short bench and some assorted vague shelves.
Yeah. Well, those vague shelves are the slightly dismembered leftovers of a taller set of shelves that have now been shortened to fit in one of these benches so that the laptops and the scanner and things like that can all hide inside. So I did that yesterday and almost killed myself.
Yeah.
It was quite exhausting. But it looks all right, I think. Quite happy with it.
I don't know, I can't see it from here.
Good, because he hasn't seen it previously.
No, not even once.
Not once.
Nope.
No.
Hasn't come up.
No, he's averted his eyes every time he's gone in to get anything from the kitchen. So, other than that, did the blood run and didn't do lunch with dear listener Lee. It was a public holiday, but still went in anyway. They're desperate at the moment for donors. Numbers have gone down due to people being out of availability due to various reasons, sometimes coronavirus related, but yeah. So I did that. Other than that, cleaning up the place. Very boring. Anyway.
Yeah.
We have a movie to watch.
We do have a movie to watch.
Yes. We're going to watch this in...
we have 6 movies to watch.
We have many to choose from.
Yeah.
All of them very, very similar in nature. We're doing a bit of a nod and a salute to the recently departed Douglas Trumbull, a special effects wizard, and did lots of things to do with 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Known for good effects in films that I wasn't hot on.
I can't remember what your opinion of Silent Running was, because he directed that.
I seem to recall I found it a bit slow.
Yeah. Unlike 2001: A Space Odyssey, which enthralled you from beginning to end.
Which was even slower.
Well, look, this is a Steven Spielberg film, so it can't be slow. There's no way this is going to be slow. I have a recollection there are places in this film which are slow.
Right.
But Douglas Trumbull. Oh, there is another thing that he is well renowned for. When Paramount suddenly decided to jump on the sci-fi revival bandwagon and revitalize the Star Trek franchise, they decided to make a movie of Star Trek, the motion picture, and it all went pear-shaped special effects-wise, and Douglas Trumbull jumped in at the last minute and did a fairly good job of making it a almost watchable film.
Right.
Yes. The special effects company dropped the ball originally, and he stepped in and had to use models that had been built at scales that he wasn't necessarily happy with. But, yeah.
But none of those films are what we're watching.
We're not. What are we watching today?
We are watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
What on earth is this film about, Thomas?
Richard Dreyfuss stars as cable worker Roy Neary, who experiences a close encounter of the first kind, witnessing UFOs soaring across the sky. Meanwhile, government agents have close encounters of the second kind, discovering physical evidence of extraterrestrial visitors in the form of a lost fighter aircraft from World War II and a stranded military ship that disappeared decades earlier, only to suddenly reappear in an unusual place. Roy and the agents follow the clues that have drawn them to reach a site where they will have a close encounter of the third kind, Contact.
So, that's what we're watching today.
Is.
Thomas is going to take the disc out of its case. He's going to put it into the...
Which one out of which?
You work that out. He's going to put it into the Blu-ray player. He's going to hit the play button and...
On which version?
We'll catch you on the flip side, you mongrel.
Turn to...
No, I've already mongreled
I have
you.
3 discs. Pick a disc.
That one.
Any disc.
Put it in the machine.
And then you can listen to us again.
You mongrel. So, what did you think?
Yeah, that was good. I had a good time.
Had you seen it before?
I have, yes.
That's what I thought. Daniel hadn't.
No.
No. My youngest son sat in again and gave it a big thumbs up. I wasn't sure whether he was going to make it through it, actually, but he gave it a big thumbs up. It is slow at times.
I don't know that it's unnecessarily slow.
No.
It doesn't revel in its slowness.
No, it is deliberately paced, I guess. I have some notes.
I have some notes too. I don't know how many of them are actually useful.
I'm not sure whether you picked any connection with the guy who spoke French.
No, I was too focused on another background character who didn't turn out to be anyone I knew.
Okay, that was Francois Truffaut, the Frenchman, who we have seen a film of which he directed.
Right.
Fahrenheit 451.
Right.
So he's... in fact, more recognised, certainly worldwide, as a director, but he has acted on occasion, including this. I'm not sure the story as to why, unless it was Steven Spielberg jumped at the chance to get him to act in it. I don't know. I haven't looked terribly far into that. It was a 4K restoration.
Yep.
According to the case.
I'm operating under the assumption that that description was taken wholesale from a 4K release.
I believe so.
That would have come out at the same time.
Yep.
And it's probably downscaled from that 4K restoration, but we have neither a 4K TV nor the 4K copy of the Blu-ray.
No, it's quite bizarre that they just straight copy and pasted onto the back of the case. All right, what do you have?
Let's see here. A little bit of graphic design geekery here. The radar sweep revealing the location intertitle in the near collision sequence. That's nice. I like that.
Yes, all through the movie there are locations that come up on the screen.
I think that was the only one that had
this particular one was
a special reveal
yes.
attached.
The toys in the bedroom floor. I got flashbacks of Time Bandits, or flash forwards, I guess, of Time Bandits. I half expecting a knight to suddenly burst through the wardrobe door of the bedroom when the toys started self-operating.
That wasn't in anyone's imagination.
What are you saying?
Nothing. I'm not saying anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good job, Thomas. This is all just summarising things that happened in the film.
Yeah,
I'm not actually making any points.
I'm missing some things.
The UFOs operating the gates at state lines is a good gag.
That was brilliant. I did make that note too. What did I write? State line. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you can go up as much as you want, but no, must adhere to the rules of a car chase and head on through. But if we are adhering to the rules here, we should show some courtesy.
That's right. Mind you, when they suddenly decided not to follow the roads and a police car continued to follow them, all the other vehicles stopped and they all got out and watched these ships shooting off into the sky. But no reaction whatsoever to the fact that one of their own officers plunged down the hill, and nobody seemed to be concerned about the welfare of said police officer.
I think he was fine.
I think he was fine,
he came
but
to a stop.
I don't know. Ships of the desert.
Yeah.
That was the way my mind followed. They've got the camels, and then a real ship of the in the desert.
So, Colin response.
Right.
It's a musical element that gets used
yes,
on various occasions. I'm talking generally on various occasions out in the world.
In the world, yep.
Generally speaking, call and response requires that the response be different in some way.
Yep.
So it's not surprising when just repeating the 5-note tune back at each other doesn't do anything.
No. They end up going off and developing themes and complex matrices and using quavers.
Yes.
Did that strike you as odd, that they said quavers?
Well, when you've got a Frenchman leading your team...
Yeah.
I assume they're working off of his notes.
I guess so.
Is it just me?
Yes.
Okay. Is it just me? Or does the tone generator, as we move into the section of the film known as the dialogue,
right,
where they're going back and forth and doing different things, does the tone generator switch to a flute at the start of that segment?
It goes into all sorts of different instruments.
I know it goes into all sorts of instruments, woodwinds and such, but I feel like in the segment before, it just
went from
tones.
Right. Just
normal tones, but I can't remember.
Yeah, mentally that does ring a bell, but it didn't hit me as being, I guess it was the progression into the whole orchestration of it, rather than it being, let's change an instrument to change our dialogue, I guess.
I don't know that in universe it was a deliberate choice, but I'm sure it was a deliberate choice on the part of John Williams.
Yep. Who was nominated for an Academy Award for the soundtrack to this, and in that same year he was also nominated and won for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which is, the whole Academy Awards for 1977 was a bit rough. So, Close Encounters of the Third Kind wasn't nominated for Best Picture, but Star Wars was. And everyone lost out to a Woody Allen film, Annie Hall.
Sending popular film to the Academy Awards
absolutely.
Is like showing them a blank sheet of paper and trying to call it art.
Yeah. I guess the most unfortunate was as far as best special effects or best visual effects. Coming out with this film the same year as Star Wars was a bit rough. They're impressive in this for totally different reasons.
Douglas Trumbull versus ILM.
Yeah, or Dykstra, more to the point. It was quite strong rivalry, I think.
The humans in the dialogue, all high-register instruments versus the mothership's tubas and other bassy...
Smash the windows with low bass tones, yes. As far as consciousness of things is concerned, these days, if a set of numbers came through and hit you in the face, would you recognise coordinates straight away?
Well, these were very structured numbers. Like, the way they were getting the numbers in was, as they described it, I think it was some number of fast notes separated by 5 seconds, 5 seconds, quite a bit longer, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, quite a bit longer again, and then repeat and repeat.
Yeah.
So,
but looking at the number, when it came up on the computer screen and on the golf ball typewriter, would that have instantly clicked something in your mind saying those are coordinates?
Maybe?
Yeah. Maybe I'm spoiled as far as doing geocaching and...
You did a lot of geocaching
and
back in the
mapping
day.
and things like that. But even so, since this film, I think universal consciousness of coordinates has increased. And certainly there have been a lot of movies and shows, TV shows and things like that since, where there has been that realisation that this coded message isn't a phone number or something like that. It's GPS coordinates.
GPS coordinates from very northwestern-centric aliens.
That's right. I don't recall, and I know it was certainly an era for it, but I don't recall a movie that is so heavily impacted by product placement.
There is quite some product placement.
All over the place.
McDonald's,
KFC.
Shell, Budweiser.
Yep.
In an actual ad on a television.
Piggy Wiggy, which is a supermarket chain.
Baskin Robbins ice cream?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you mention Coca-Cola?
I didn't, but it wouldn't be surprising.
It was certainly there on its own truck. It was everywhere. And things on tables as well.
And probably a bunch of those toys.
Yes. Oh. And the other placement, I guess, which is completely out of place, is the musical motif of When You Wish Upon a Star. Which is quintessentially Disney, but it was...
the story's somewhere in this article. Spielberg, quoting from Wikipedia here, called Williams' work When You Wish Upon a Star meets science fiction. Briefly, just before Roy Neary was going to go into the mothership, Spielberg had asked Williams to put When You Wish Upon a Star into the soundtrack at that moment. We have an interesting selection of alien bodies to look at.
we got big ones, short ones, fat one, tall one.
Gangly chap.
Gangly puppet chap.
Yeah. Lots of very little ones.
Little kitty ones.
Stereotypical green man.
Yep.
Right at the end.
Yep. And then all of these people who have been trained up, ready to hop on board as emissaries for Earth.
And they take one
who
wasn't trained.
Who wasn't trained. And I guess my question is also, why did they need to take one when they've been nicking humans since who knows when, and they spat them all out. Right, we're done with all of you.
It doesn't seem like they did anything with them either, because they're all very confused about what's going on.
Yes.
And also haven't aged.
Well, they probably just got probed and had their minds wiped. Whereas, okay, we want him because
well,
he seems interesting to us. And
we put images of a mountain in his mind, and he was the only one who ended up coming forward. So, it's...
Yeah, we'll take him. He sculpts well. in mixed media, including rubbish.
So, there are 3 editions of this film. The theatrical release, the special edition, and what we watched tonight, which was the director's cut.
Yep.
In the special edition, Spielberg shows the inside of the mothership,
Yep.
a move that he almost immediately
He
regrets,
regretted, yep.
which is why it doesn't show up in the director's cut.
Yes, I've seen that. In fact, I saw it on television because it was done for television, I believe, and had a big television release of the special edition, unless they did a re-release. I don't know, but I know that there was a big hoorah of having it released on television, and I watched it and recalled it being really, really a lot longer than the original film, but it isn't. There isn't a great deal of difference lengthwise. We're talking 5 minutes left or right of the original. There's barely any difference between the 3 versions, so one of these days I don't think I can be... I seem to recall being really, really disappointed watching it on television, the special edition with the extra footage of inside the ship. It went on ridiculously long.
And Roger Ebert, the late great critic,
Yep.
Roger Ebert, said the new version, the special edition, was quite simply a better film. So,
Well, there we go.
so there we go. Another thing that Spielberg regrets now, that doesn't come across in any of the editions, he regrets having Roy Neary abandon his family to get onto the ship.
And that has caused a great deal of debate for years and years and years as to what kind of father was he and what have you. What's your opinion?
In film, his family doesn't factor in at all after that last phone call before he heads off to Devil's Tower.
No.
It goes without mention.
Yep.
It is a little weird. It does feel like his family has abandoned him, though, so...
It's a weird situation. It's also an uncomfortable situation in that I, as a father, have gone through a period of not being right in the head and seen the effect that it has had on my family. So I can fully understand the wife and kids packing up and leaving. You know, when you see this guy throwing dirt into his kitchen window for the safety of the kids, yeah, you get out of there.
Having a phone call trying to get them back while there's this massive sculpture of Devil's Tower in the background.
Yeah, the whole lounge room filled with the sculpture. And also, the benefit of hindsight, as far as Spielberg is concerned, was he made those statements after becoming a father himself, whereas when he made this film, I don't believe he had kids. So,
No.
different skew of perspective. It's a difficult one. The flow of the movie progressed in such a manner that that's what he was destined to do. And... I don't know. Tough call. If I was in that situation, I would very much like to think that, no, I wouldn't abandon my family to head off into space.
At minutes' notice?
As long as they bring me back home for dinner, I'll go. Have me home for tea. We'll do a block of the Milky Way.
And then off he went.
Yeah, but Einstein was right.
Probably one of them.
Yes. Do you have anything else you wish to raise as far as that movie was concerned?
Yeah.
I will say it is an awkward situation. My youngest son came in just as the film was beginning for no particular reason, except he occasionally comes and sits in and watches it. And normally it is not a film that I'm particularly attached to, but this I am, and I think I was hyper-vigilant and hypersensitive to any vibes that he may have been giving as to what he thought about it, and so I was, I guess, distracted by that, and feeling like, oh, is this holding his concentration? Is this entertaining him? Is he letting it flow over him and get the vibes from it? And so that, I guess, distracted me from being able to enjoy it once more. And yet, at the end, seeing his thumbs up and the big grin on his face, and that was excellent. Breathing this big sigh of relief and going, oh, good.
Yeah, that is definitely something I have gone through when showing other people things that are important to me in the past.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So the sacrifice of me possibly enjoying it more, but getting the benefit of having a new follower of this film was very much worth it.
Yeah, no, I think I am out of useful notes.
All right, then.
Which is a shame, because that rules out well over half of my notes.
Yeah, I chopped through most of mine, but we still had more than last week's.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, we might, other than recommending that you get your hands on at least one of the 3, 6, 9, 12 copies of this film and watch it. Except it's not streaming anywhere, I don't think. I think we established that.
Sony, so a bit up in the air, possibly. Paramount? Dunno. They're slowly moving everything over to their own streaming service that I still don't really have any interest in, even though they've moved Star Trek Discovery over there, but I'm sort of spite not watching it because of the move.
Yes, I'm very much of the same feeling too. And yet, Picard is still on Prime.
Yeah, that's a humdinger.
Oh dear.
I seem to recall that Discovery was advertised as a Netflix original over here, but...
Go figure.
Yeah. But, of course, the Netflix Originals program covers a wide range of things, many of which are not actually original to Netflix.
Absolutely not. No.
It's premieres.
We have bought this, so we're slapping our sticker on the front.
We have bought this, and we were the first to buy it anywhere in this territory, so it's ours. It's ours. You can't take this away from us. What? Why are you trying to take this away from us?
We'll be having that back, thank you.
Very rude.
All right, we shall move on then.
The only comment on any platform that I have seen was one that I made myself, which is all very helpful.
What was that comment?
Fun fact, Colin had finished editing this one before I even got up today.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
No.
Good.
Well, good.
I was probably asleep.
Because it was the only thing that came through.
Well, I'm not even going to add a jingle to that.
No.
So we'll move on to the conclusion. And now, the conclusion.
Pick a film for next week so we can go to bed.
It's your turn.
This might be a slightly long film selection segment.
Ah, you've been buying stuff, haven't you?
Because I have a tale to tell.
So, sit right back. We're only at 51 minutes, so... We're making up for last week.
I'm a little frazzled from having been out all day, and so...
By the way, Thomas was out all day.
Oh yeah, in the sun, in the hot...
In the hot sun.
Yep. I'm actually going to start by talking about Don Hertzfeldt. Don Hertzfeldt, independent animator over in America, well known for the Academy Award-winning short Rejected, a collection of quote-unquote rejected commercials, did a bunch of student films, also animated, produced a series of short films that ended up coming under the banner of It's a Beautiful Day, and then all of this on a 35mm Rostrum camera that ended up conking out, and Hertzfeldt also getting very tired at the end of the production of the third in the series of 3 films in this It's a Beautiful Day shorts series. So he moves over to digital animation, and the first project that he does in this new medium in 2014 is an animation based on some recordings that he'd taken of his 4-year-old niece, which would end up becoming episode 1 of World of Tomorrow. He goes on to produce a further 2 episodes based on audio from his then 5-year-old niece. Apparently, audio from a 5-year-old niece is not quite as workable as audio from a 4-year-old niece, the story goes. 4-year-old niece produces random dribs and drabs, but 5-year-old niece will go into run-on sentences. The point is, start of 2021, February 2021, coincidentally my birthday, Kickstarter comes up. He's putting out World of Tomorrow on Blu-ray, and I snapped up that as well as It's a Beautiful Day, which was getting a re-release on Blu-ray at about the same time. And then the happening continued to happen, and various delays and such, and it has only just now arrived here in Tasmania. When was it originally slated to arrive? June of last year. Things happened, including but not limited to the US Postal Service deciding to stop posting to Australia, which is why it apparently came by rowboat. And now it is here, and I am in the strange position of having to choose between these Blu-rays that I have acquired.
So how long are they?
About an hour each.
Right, so can't we do both of them?
We could do both of them. We could entirely break the format of the show and do both of them.
There we go. We'll do that.
So, next week, I guess, we are watching the edited together re-release of It's a Beautiful Day and the 3 episodes that currently exist of World of Tomorrow.
That's what we're in for.
That is what we are in for.
We hope that you can join us when we do that, after I've edited all this.
Yep.
I may still be editing it by the time we get to that. But we hope that you can join us. But until then, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
You have been listening to Cellulose Free. Your hosts were Colin, who produces and edits the show, and Thomas, who makes the artwork and music. Cellulose Free is recorded in the Deranged Cat Studios in scenic Tasmania, Australia. We keep track of our extensive physical media collection through My Movies, which we highly recommend. You can find links to that, as well as other places you can find us, in the show notes. Cellulose Free is a Hi Hello production.
Wow, I really choose my days.
What was that?
That was a stream of consciousness produced by a man who spent about half of the 5 hours that he was out in the world today, out in the sun.
So you're out in the sun today?
I was out in the sun today. As has been established.
Make it stop.
Did you know I was out in the sun today?
Stop, go away. Go away.
If I'd not gone out today, I think that stream of consciousness would have been a little tighter. Just a bit.
I'll tighten it up.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Stop making Randy Newman and They Might Be Giants references. It's not helpful when you are going back to your notes later.